A woman from my fall fasting program just told me she's so excited to be joining me in the spring. And I love hearing that, but the reason she gave me stopped me in my tracks. She wrote, "Dr. Erin, you're the first doctor who ever gave me permission to stop fasting if I didn't feel right." Yikes. Okay, that really made me pause. Because friends, that tells me that some of you are getting some really bad and dangerous advice out here. I hear from you all the time, and some of you tell me about your wild fasting abilities, like being able to fast for 40 days straight, or just many, many days on end, no problem. But some of you write to me with fear. Am I doing this right? Should I push through? Is this normal? So before I talk to you about this, I want to make it very clear who I am and who I am not. If your thing is 40-day religious fasts, I find that impressive. Truly, I read your stories with wide eyes, but that's not my jam. I'm always a little amazed that you actually made it through without ending up in the ER, because I'm uniquely qualified in that regard. I was an ER doc for 25 years, friends. I've seen what happens when people push way past what their physiology can handle. And 25 years of dealing with life and death without thinking about my own health was more than my physiology could handle. After all that time, I had gained a ton of weight. I had my own metabolic dysfunction staring me in the face, and I knew I needed to reinvest in myself. That's when I turned to the science to figure out how to nourish my body properly, and also when and how to fast for best health. And that's exactly what I teach you. And please note, I said I turned to the science. I didn't turn to my medical school curriculum because that's not where any of this comes from. I'm more than happy to share with you what I've learned. So when you fast with me, yes, I will teach you how to fast safely and comfortably. And you will learn how to nourish your body. Because fasting without nourishment is not advanced, it's incomplete. Today I want to talk to you about when do you push through and when do you stop. If you're pushing through a fast that isn't going well, that's not discipline, that's dangerous. Fasting is a healthy tool. It's not a badge of honor, and it's not a test of willpower. It's absolutely not something I want you to white knuckle your way through. There's always another day to fast. Let me give you an example of the type of fasting coach I am. I joke with my fasting teams that no matter how deep into a fast I am, if somebody offers me a free steak dinner, I'm done. Fast over, pass me the plate. But if I walk into a baby shower and all they have to eat is donuts, I will happily keep fasting and not feel deprived at all. That's the difference. Fasting isn't about refusing nourishment. It's about being strategic with how you fuel your body. Being able to wield fasting as a tool means you can say no to junk at any time. All right, so let's learn about the warning signs that I teach. You know I love a good analogy, so let's use this one. Think of your body as a car, and when we're fasting together, I ask you to keep your eyes on the dashboard. Because when you're fasting, lights will come on. Some lights mean you need to adjust. You may need to hydrate or simply add some salt. You may need to take a breath and get your mindset right. But certain lights that come on your dashboard mean that you need to pull over, sit down, ride the bench. It's game over for you. And if you don't know the difference between the different types of warning lights, that's where you can get into trouble. So let's talk about the 5 signals you should never push through. Number 1, dizziness that doesn't correct quickly with electrolytes. Okay, are we talking mild lightheadedness when you stand up? That's common. When you fast, you burn through stored glycogen. Glycogen holds water. When it leaves, you lose water and sodium, or salt. This can temporarily lower blood pressure. Your body can adapt to that, which is the reason why most of us who get dizzy only have it for a brief second. However, this is a warning sign. You should not leave this unaddressed. Salt water is what fixes this problem quickly. So if we're working together and you say, I'm dizzy, I'll say, hey friend, make sure you hydrate and add enough salt. That's about 2,000 milligrams daily. But if you are persistently dizzy, seeing black spots, feeling like you might faint, or your heart feels like it's racing out of your chest, even after you've tried electrolytes, your body is not adapting. Your physiology is telling you that your body is under strain. It's time to quit. Break your fast, nourish well, hydrate well, and try again another day. There's always another day to fast. Number 2, true cognitive impairment. If you're experiencing a little brain fog, especially around that 12 to 20 hour mark, This is completely normal. Your brain is working on shifting fuel sources. But if you're beyond just a little slow with your thinking or inability to focus, if we're talking about true confusion or disorientation, if you're struggling to form sentences or feel like it could be dangerous to drive, that's different. Your brain is your command center. If your executive function drops, I'm not going to ask you to continue to test your grit. This is your stress chemistry, and it is overriding your stability. Again, it's time to break the fast. Especially if I know you, friend, and I know you're on a lot of medications, or you're diabetic, or I know you're baseline crazy stressed. This is your brain telling you it needs to be supported, not starved. Number 3, shaky, symptomatic hunger. I'm going to teach you how hunger comes in waves. That's normal physiology. Hunger will rise and fall. And you can ride that wave with the best of them. But hear me out, especially if you're surfing in deep water and you don't know how to swim. In other words, this fasting practice is really new to you. If you start feeling shaky or sweaty, if you're feeling weak or really irritable, or so cold that you can't seem to warm yourself up. These are not what happens when you're ignoring the food noise. These are your metabolic alarms. But let me add something important. Not every alarm you feel during a fast is coming from your body. Sometimes it's coming from your brain. Fasting is a mental game. If your brain isn't used to going long hours without food, it can interpret that as feeling unsafe. This doesn't automatically mean that you're in danger. It just means you need to do some mental adapting. This is where a fasting team really helps. When we prepare together, we talk through the science. I explain what exactly your body is doing during every part of your fast, and I'm there inside the team holding your hand. This can help your brain stay calm and stop it from alarming. But sometimes all I have to do is explain your fueling. So let's talk about your fat. 1 pound of fat stores 3,500 calories. In 5 pounds of extra fat, you have 17,500 calories. The average person uses about 2,000 calories a day. This means if you have an extra 5 pounds of fat on your body, you can very safely, by the math, fast for at least 8 days. So, if you're carrying 50 pounds of extra fat, believe me, you're safe. On the other hand, if you're already really lean, or you're somebody who's always under eating, or you're someone who is crazy desperate to lose the weight, and you're stressing out and over fasting and doing crazy workouts, your reserve might not be so robust. Over fasting without nourishment will backfire. Number 4 is what I like to call stuck in overdrive. Fasting is a stressor. It's a good one when dosed correctly. Similar to lifting weights, when dosed correctly, you get stronger. But when you're trying to lift too much, you can get hurt. Fasting raises adrenaline. This is what causes the lift-off of energy that those of us who love to fast look forward to. That sudden clarity, that productivity burst. That's your ketones, the product of your fat burning in action. And part of learning as a beginner faster is learning what it feels like when those ketones kick in and being ready for it. If you are already a baseline anxious person, or you've been chronically over fasting, so your system is running hot to begin with, that sudden jet propulsion can cause your cortisol to stay elevated. And that's when you start to feel wired but exhausted. Your heart pounding uncontrollably. You may be sleeping poorly night after night, and you feel really nervous or overstimulated. This is when that engine light is starting to move into the red. And if your life already includes high stress work, constant caregiving, chronic overtraining at the gym without rest days, or maybe your body is going through a process like perimenopause or a new disease. In all of these cases, fasting can become the straw that tips the stress bucket over. Healing does not happen inside of chronic stress. Sometimes the smartest move is to shorten up your fasts. And often this means you need to stop focusing on fasting altogether. Maybe switch your mindset into thinking about time-restricted eating and focus on the eating. Ensure that you're getting enough nutrients and focus on getting better sleep. You need to calm your nervous system down. You can always come back to fasting. And when you do, you want to come back slowly. Be strategic, because fasting should build your resilience, not drain it. Number 5, knowing your depletion signals. This one is especially important for experienced fasters. These are the signs to lay off of longer fasting and lean into better nourishment. Chronic cold intolerance, hair thinning, loss of a menstrual cycle, stalled weight loss, depressed mood, or loss of strength. Chronic fasting without thinking about strategic fueling is not a form of advanced biohacking. It can create advanced metabolic depletion, and I see this more often than I like. You don't need to memorize all of these signals. The most important thing I say to my students is follow the feels. If something doesn't feel right and you're not feeling comfortable and safe in your fast, then listen to your body. It doesn't matter what any influencer out there says. You're not failing if you stop. You're being smart. Because I'll say it again, there's always another day to fast. If you like learning about fasting from me, if I make it feel safer or just more doable, then I want to invite you to come along with me in my spring fasting group. We work together inside my interactive app, which is free, by the way. I'll leave a link for it below. With my app, you can start getting healthy even without joining a program. But when you choose to enter a challenge, we walk through these things together, hour by hour. In the fasting program, we talk constantly about what's normal, what's not, when to push, and when to stop. You never fast alone. And this, in part, is what makes it so much easier. We focus just as much on the nourishment as on the fast itself. If you're a beginner, we teach you how to do this safely. And if you're advanced, we teach you how to get a little more strategic. Fasting smarter with a team changes everything. Being able to use fasting as a healthy strategy is powerful, but using that power without judgment is risky. Learn your signals, protect your brain, and fuel your body well. And remember, there's always another day to fast. If this video helped you, please let me know. Leave a comment below to tell me that you appreciated it. And if you want to keep learning from me, please follow my channel and share it with a friend.